The Bible is filled with stories of faith, miracles, and divine wisdom, stories that have shaped the world for thousands of years. From the creation of the universe to the teachings of Jesus, these ancient narratives continue to resonate with people from all walks of life. They offer guidance, inspiration, and a glimpse into the very nature of humanity's relationship with the divine. Today, we'll journey through some of the most powerful Bible stories, exploring the lives of ordinary men and women who encountered the extraordinary. We'll uncover the timeless lessons hidden within their experiences, lessons that speak to the core of our own human journey. Get ready to be inspired, challenged, and transformed as we delve into the heart of these epic Bible stories: faith, courage, and miracles. Our first story takes us back to a time when the world was consumed by darkness, a time when wickedness had spread like a plague across the hearts of humankind. The stench of corruption rose from the earth, reaching even the heavens, and God, in his infinite sorrow, saw that the creation he had so lovingly crafted had strayed far from his light. But amidst the darkness, a single spark of hope flickered. One man, Noah, found favor in God's eyes. A man of unwavering faith and righteous living, Noah stood apart from the wickedness that surrounded him, a beacon of light in a world shrouded in shadow, and God, seeing the purity of Noah's heart, decided to spare him and his family from the impending destruction. He instructed Noah to build an ark, a colossal vessel of gopher wood, designed to withstand the wrath of the coming storm. Imagine, if you will, the sheer scale of this undertaking. The sounds of hammers pounding, the scent of fresh wood, the sight of this immense structure taking shape against the backdrop of a world teetering on the brink of annihilation. People scoffed, they mocked, they dismissed Noah as a fool. A flood? They jeered, in a world bathed in sunshine. But Noah, driven by an unshakable faith in the divine word, pressed on, his belief in God's promise stronger than any doubt. For 40 days and 40 nights the heavens opened, unleashing a torrent unlike any the world had ever seen. The rain fell in relentless sheets, transforming the earth into a churning, roiling sea. Those who had scorned Noah's warnings surely cried out in terror as the waters rose, swallowing their homes, their possessions, their very lives. But the ark, that testament to faith and obedience, rode the waves, a symbol of hope amidst the chaos. Within its sturdy walls, Noah, his family, and the creatures of the earth found refuge, protected from the storm by the very hand of God. And then, as suddenly as it began, the rain stopped. The clouds parted, revealing a sky washed clean by the deluge. The floodwaters receded, leaving behind a world reborn, cleansed and ready for a new beginning. And as the sun broke through the clouds, painting the heavens with vibrant hues, a magnificent rainbow arched across the sky, a symbol of God's promise, a covenant etched in light, a reminder that never again would he destroy the earth by flood. Noah's story is a powerful testament to the importance of faith, even in the face of adversity, even when surrounded by doubt and ridicule. It teaches us that obedience to God, however challenging it may seem, leads to salvation, to a hope that transcends even the most desperate of circumstances. Our next story transports us to the Valley of Elah, a place where the fate of nations hung in the balance, where the air crackled with tension and fear. Imagine the scene: two armies facing each other across a battlefield, the sun glinting off shields and swords. On one side stood the Israelites, God's chosen people, their hearts heavy with dread. Before them, a formidable enemy, the Philistines, had gathered, their ranks bolstered by a giant among men, Goliath. Picture Goliath, a towering behemoth clad in bronze armor, a fearsome giant who cast a shadow of terror over all who dared to meet his gaze. Every day, for 40 long days, Goliath strode onto the battlefield, his voice booming across the valley, challenging the Israelites to send forth their champion, to settle the conflict in single combat. But who among men could stand against such a foe? Fear paralyzed the Israelite army. Their hearts pounded in their chests, their knees trembled, their spirits dwindled with each passing day. King Saul himself, the tallest among them, even he felt dwarfed by Goliath's immense presence. And then, from the rolling hills of Bethlehem, a young shepherd boy arrived, sent by his father to bring food and news to his brothers on the front lines. This was David, the youngest of Jesse's sons, a boy known for his courage, his skill with a sling, and his unwavering faith in the God of Israel. Hearing Goliath's taunts, David was filled with righteous anger. How dare this Philistine giant defy the armies of the living God? While others saw only Goliath's size and strength, David saw something else, something more. He saw arrogance, he saw blasphemy, and he saw an opportunity to prove that faith in God was more powerful than any earthly might. David stepped forward, his voice echoing with quiet confidence. "I will go and fight this Philistine." His words were met with astonishment and disbelief. Saul, concerned for the young man's safety, protested, "You are just a boy. This man has been a warrior from his youth." But David, undeterred, replied, "The Lord who rescued me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will rescue me from the hand of this Philistine." His faith was absolute, his trust in God unwavering. Refusing the weight of Saul's armor, David strode onto the battlefield, armed only with his shepherd's staff, a sling, and 5 smooth stones from the brook. Goliath, taken aback by the sight of this youthful opponent, roared with laughter, "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks?" With a swift motion, David launched a single stone from his sling. It soared through the air, finding its mark, striking Goliath squarely in the forehead. The giant stumbled, his massive frame crashing to the ground with a thunderous thud. The battle, decided in a moment, was over. David's victory over Goliath is a timeless reminder that courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. It teaches us that with faith in God, even the most daunting obstacles can be overcome. No matter how big our battles may seem, with God on our side, victory is always within reach. Chapter 3. Jesus feeds the 5,000 abundance in scarcity. Our final story takes us to the heart of Jesus' ministry, to a time when his fame spread like wildfire across the region of Galilee. Imagine the scene. Throngs of people, drawn by his teachings and his miraculous healings, followed him wherever he went. On this particular day, a vast crowd, hungry not just for his words but for physical sustenance, had gathered on a hillside, their eyes fixed expectantly on the figure of Jesus. They had come from far and wide, their hearts yearning for his message of hope, their bodies weary from their journey. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the hillside, the disciples approached Jesus, their faces etched with concern. "Lord," they said, "this is a desolate place and it is getting late. Send the crowds away so they can go to the villages and buy themselves some food." Jesus, his gaze sweeping across the multitude, replied, "They do not need to go away, you give them something to eat." The disciples were stunned. How could they possibly feed such a vast crowd in this remote location? One of them, Andrew, pointed out the obvious, "But we have only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, here." It was a meager offering, a mere drop in the ocean of need that surrounded them. Jesus, however, saw not scarcity, but abundance. He instructed the disciples to have the people sit down in groups on the lush green grass. With a heart full of compassion, Jesus took the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, and looking up to heaven, he gave thanks. And then, something extraordinary occurred. In his hands the small provisions began to multiply, bread breaking into more bread, fish multiplying before their very eyes. What was once scarce became abundant, overflowing with God's provision. The disciples, their eyes wide with wonder, distributed the food to the astonished crowd, and miraculously, there was more than enough to go around. Everyone ate until they were satisfied, their hunger quelled not only for physical sustenance but also for the spiritual nourishment that Jesus offered. When the feast was over, the disciples collected 12 baskets full of leftover bread and fish, a testament to the boundless generosity of God's provision. The miracle of the feeding of the 5,000 is a powerful reminder that with God, all things are possible. It teaches us that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges, God can take what little we have and multiply it beyond our wildest imaginations. This story is a beacon of hope, reminding us that God's love and provision are limitless, available to all who seek Him with open hearts and unwavering faith. These stories, Noah's unwavering obedience, David's courageous stand, Jesus' compassionate provision, they are more than ancient history. They are living lessons, woven into the very fabric of human experience, echoing across millennia, carrying profound truths that continue to resonate with us today. Noah's Ark reminds us that faith, even in the face of ridicule and uncertainty, leads to salvation. David's victory over Goliath teaches us that courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it, fueled by an unwavering belief in a power greater than ourselves. And Jesus' miracle of the loaves and fishes reassures us that God can take what little we have and multiply it beyond measure. meeting our needs in ways we could never imagine. These stories, and countless others like them found within the pages of the Bible, point to one undeniable truth. With God, nothing is impossible. Which Bible story inspires you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more powerful Bible stories.